Did you know that if you have too much adrenaline running through your veins, let's say if you're triggered or if you're in fight or flight mode, the circuitry between your downstairs brain, which is your fight or flight, and your upstairs brain, which is your logical, rational mind, the circuitry between the two of them is cut off. Because imagine if a saber-toothed tiger is running towards you, if you stand there and think it's 30 feet away, it can run 10 miles an hour. I can run 5 miles an hour, right? The saber-toothed tiger is running towards you. If you think, you die. So that's why the circuitry doesn't work. So while you're learning new coping skills, it can be really helpful for you to write a letter to yourself to remind yourself that there are things that you can do to make the situation better. Maybe some things that you've learned in psychotherapy or in some other way that you learned a new coping skill, to write a letter to that, let's say, that depressed self. And let's say that when you get depressed, you feel very helpless and hopeless. You would write a letter to your depressed self and address the hopelessness and the helplessness. You would address the hopelessness by reminding yourself that you've been through situations like this before. You always get to the other side, reminding yourself that you're working really hard to improve your situation. Remind yourself that it's not always going to be this way. So you can remind yourself of things that will help you to hang on to that hope. And then if you're feeling hopeless, to also, in that letter to your depressed self, address the helplessness piece of it by writing down the things that you can do in order to help improve the situation. Maybe you can write a list of things you can do to self-soothe, or things that you can do to take care of yourself when you're feeling depressed. So you can write a letter to your depressed self, your anxious self, your overwhelmed self, and you're going to just address those parts of you that feel helpless and hopeless during those times, and remind yourself of the skills that you can use to improve the situation. So let me know in the comments if you try this out, how you like it. Take that letter, fold it up, put it in the top drawer of your dresser or someplace that you can easily remember to access it when you get triggered or you're in fight or flight mode. Thanks for tuning in.